We're excited to have you, right? Obviously, this is one of the first trainings. I'm going to be doing some training next week about making sure how to, if you're using Drake, how to get your people from Drake into Pacesetter. Juan and I will be doing that training next week. I'll also be doing some training on tasks. We want to make sure you're super efficient, right? That's one of the best things about this is it's made people super efficient. If there are any other items that you'd like to see, please let me know. I'd love to, kind of have you know, because if multiple people are talking about the same thing, then we'd love to, kind of put out some training on it, talk about it, do some lunch and learns, things like that. So definitely we're very, very interested. All right, we're about there. It's 10:01. I'm sure we'll have a couple other people jump in here shortly, and if everybody's with their team. If you know somebody's coming and you want me to wait for 30 seconds, type it now in the chat. But if not, I think we're pretty good today. We're going to have Corey, and a lot of you know Corey. I think probably most of you know Corey and Chase. And we're going to take it from beginning of where the client has just dropped off documents, and not dropped off, but they've just uploaded. They've taken a handy dandy cell phone and they've taken a picture, and then they've automatically uploaded it into the application, right? And then so we're going to take it from there. We're going to be able to kind of run and jump off from there. So that's what we're starting today. That's what we're going to be doing. If you have any questions, please feel free. I'll be watching the chat as Corey's going through. We figure it's going to take about 45 minutes. In the last 15 minutes, we are going to be doing some Q&A. So we'll kind of go from there. So Corey, if you're ready, we'll have you take off.
One quick question. I noticed that I cannot share my screen, so it says that when I click on that, only the host can share. So if you could allow that, that'd be great.
Yeah, just did. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me know if you have it now.
Perfect. I should be able to share now, right? Everyone can see my screen okay?
Yes, correct.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll take you from kind of just the beginning of a tax process all the way through the e-signature and everything, just so you can see it from start to finish. So I'll go into a client here, and then Chase and I will kind of jump back. He's on his phone, being the client, and I'll show you how that looks on your side as well. So Chase's real name is Owen Wilson, just because he has so much relation to the great actor Owen Wilson. I'm just kidding, but his profile set up as Owen Wilson. So we'll walk through this just so you guys can see. So we're going to look at the 2021 slot here. So if you go into documents on your side, this is where you'd see everything happening and kind of where all the actions are going to take place and between you and the client. So if you see here, this is blank. So we're going to wait for Chase to upload a document. So I can, Chase, if you want to share your screen just to show that, we can do that.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, and it does take a second switching into doing it all on the phone. We know from the demos. So
can we see that?
Yep.
Okay, so like Corey said, just go into the documents, select the tax year, 2020. There is nothing yet. Going to go upload, capture a document. I've pulled up my K1. Not a whole lot of activity, so I can look and say, yeah, it's blurry. I can read it. Use the photo, and then you'll see that it takes a little bit. Then I'll just to go back through it one more time, capture a document. If I've already taken pictures of them, I could choose to select the document, but I'm just going here. Looks good. Use photo. And then what I'll do next is hit the blue button saying that, hey, Corey, I'm ready for you to process the tax return. So Corey, the tax preparer, doesn't get notified until I hit that button. He can go in and see, but see the documents that I've uploaded, but he won't get any type of notification that, hey, I need to look at Chase's return or Owen's. Hit confirm. Success. All right, so now I will go stop sharing.
Awesome. And so you guys can see my screen again. So I'll just refresh from what Chase has here. A notification popped up in the middle of that, but there's also a notification here that said a tax file was requested. If I click that, it just takes you to this screen where Owen's documents are. So you can see, I can go in and see exactly what he uploaded. And I can download that if I need to, or just pull it up. However I want to use that, but essentially from there, I would take those documents, open up my tax software, do the actual return in the tax software. And then once that return is ready, I would export that. So on our account here, we have demos built in as well. So we're going to show you through a little bit of how that works. But once I have the tax return prepared, then I will start this process. I will create an invoice for Owen. I'm just going to charge him to do an individual return here. I can put in notes. If I want to generate that invoice. So right now, nothing will have gone over to Owen's account yet. So we do require the invoice to be paid before that return is processed. So I'll upload my tax documents here from my tax software. So I have a 8879. I'm going to scroll down here to where I need the signature. And all I'll do is draw my signature box. So I can make that however I want to. Is this signature for primary or secondary? I will put primary on there, upload that. You can see it tabs that as signature required. Then I can go through and upload any other documentation. I just have a 1040 here. I don't necessarily need the signature with that one, so I will upload that one. And then so you can see here, once I have those tax documents, this blue button popped up to send for review. So this is when we'd have that review process built in. So one of my, the partners of the firm, whoever could review that. So I can hit send, select who I want to review. So I'll have Donald review that. So I'll save that. So now it's in Donald's hands to review. As a super admin here, I can toggle between accounts. So I can actually open up Donald's profile and see those reviews. So if I go to the review tab, I can see Owen Wilson's still needs reviewed. I pull this up, it pulls up all the documents. So you can pull up that document, see what it is, review it, make sure everything's good on your side, and then hit approve or reject. I'll approve that, just double checks that you want to approve. It says your review has been approved. So I'm going to switch back to Caleb's account here, who's our tax preparer. And I'll go back into Owen's documents. So then you can see here that now we just have a payment button here. So depending on how the client wants to pay, if they bring in a check or cash, or you even have some people that pay like Venmo or whatever, you can record that. If they're in the office and they have their card and they want to pay, you can click Stripe and you can enter their card details. Or if they drop off cash, Venmo, whatever, you can mark here and then mark it as paid, or check. We always put the check number in there, so you can pay that way. I'm gonna switch it over to Chase and he can show how this looks on his side.
Can we pause for just a second right there? Can I add just a moment of kind of information, Corey? If is that okay? Can you go back to the pay tab? Can you just kind of hover over that pay 309? Can you click into that?
Yeah.
If you want to take credit cards through the app, so you want them to be able to pay, you need to set up Stripe, and it needs to be set up through Pacesetter Tax. And I'm the person to do that. I'm going to send something out where we set it up. I have to send you a link that actually goes through the Stripe application. You fill out all your information. You fill out the banking information. There is one person, because of the banking SEC requirements, there has to be one person attached. So for money laundering purposes, one person is generally the main person who sets up this account. But it goes through Stripe. I think they charge 2.9%. But that's how we do it. When we set this up last year, it took payments from about 5 days to about 45 minutes, because once they get pinged to pay it and they can't see it, they definitely want to. We'd love everybody to be able to set up Stripe, but I need to send you the link that actually comes from Pacesetter through Stripe to you. And then I have to get your publishable key and secret key to put in. Once that's done, we should be good to go. If you already have a Stripe account, when I send that to you, it does ask if you have a Stripe account, so you should be able to put all your information in. I know there are a few of you, Christina, and a few of you that have already done that. So if you haven't done that and you'd like to take credit cards through the system, through Pacesetter, as it pings them, just please send me a separate email. I'll connect with you. It's a really quick process, and we'll get that done. So thanks for doing that. Now, Jim just asked, can we use our own credit card processor? Not through Pacesetter, not through the system, because it actually has to be built in and has to recognize who you are. You can use it like at your office. If somebody comes in and wants to pay via phone, totally. Yep, no problem. If you wanted to go through the mobile app, or if you wanted to pay through the screen that Chase is going to show you in just a minute, because he's going to show you the application, right? The web view that people will see. If you wanted to go through that, then it has to be Stripe. That's the only thing. And then somebody just asked, is there a way to not require payments before clients see their I can work with you kind of offline about that, Mary. There are ways to kind of show it to you, right? You can upload and things like that, and we can show you there are workarounds. We're trying not to do that as well. Jim says we want that as well. Yes, I understand. So maybe we can do some training on that as well. But there are a few workarounds. We're just trying to make sure that you, as the tax preparer, get paid, so people don't shop returns. And if you're like, oh, that's not really a big concern of mine, then that's okay. And then we can show you how to do that. All right. So please send me an email, and then we can kind of work through that. But I just wanted to make sure that we got everybody set up with Stripe if you want your people to pay. Okay.
Perfect. So we can have Chase share again from his side what it looks like.
You'll see that I did get 2 notifications from Pacesetter about a new signature required and a new invoice. Just wanted to show that real quick. Come in here, and I see the invoice, proceed for payment, select Stripe. Just don't write my credit card number down, people.
Because this credit card won't actually work in real life.
Got a really, really small limit. Cool. So that's showing, you can see in the top right that it was paid. Now we're going to proceed for signature. I can see that proceed, generate a signature,
And so if somebody has, if somebody's doing this on their desktop too, depending on if it's like business people or whatever, they can select a signature that they already have if they want to use that. But this through the mobile app, usually people don't have like a signature file anywhere. So we'll just ask them to re-sign again. And this takes them through that two-factor authentication where you can see where it forced Chase to log, it forced them out of the software, and then facial recognition logged them back in, and now it sent a one-time password as that second authentication.
So yeah, I got that via email, and now I'll come in here and do a pretty signature for you guys. Looks good. And then it's uploaded. I think probably the best way.
And I'll switch to the other side here so you can see.
Yeah, let me.
So you just have to refresh here, and then you can see in the account it says signatures been completed. So if you do want to pull up that document, you can see where Chase's signatures landed there. So that'll take you through that e-signature process. Just check. And then essentially from here, then you can actually e-file, and then within the tax filing here, you could change the statuses of those as well. So I think that kind of gets us through kind of a standard process. Matt, was there anything else that we wanted to look at?
Yeah, anything that anybody needs as we're sitting here and kind of talking through, right? Does anybody want to go back over what it looks like for e-signatures? You know, I'll be doing a task one. So if we want to look, you know, we'll be going over tasks, but task, you can go down and actually build out templates for that on your process. So I'll be doing one, but any questions that anybody wants to ask in the chat real quick while we have Corey and Chase on. Okay, looks like we've got a couple. Thank you. I would like to see the signature again. Okay. Yeah, and Jenny, that's a great question. How can we get this? I'm actually going to send out the recording to everyone, so everybody will be able to see it and then refer back to it. And that way you'll have it. Will record if you haven't uploaded your clients. That's probably one of the most important things is get everybody else. And then we'll do, if we can, Chase, maybe go through how we get to the e-signatures again, and then Mary, we'll kind of take your question next, because that is an issue of what happens when people drop off paperwork, right? What do we do with that? And then we'll go to Alex. Does paring down the number of views affect availability of the e-signature function? I don't understand exactly what you're asking, just to make sure, Alex, but Corey, can you go through that e-signature when you have the document again, and what do you do, just to make sure we have it one more time?
Yeah. Share Chase. So this would kind of be a two for here, help with Mary's question. So I'm going to this 2018 year where there's some documents in here that Chase has uploaded, but if you do have somebody that drops off physical documents, you can drag and drop files. So you just scan it into your system, and then you can put that in there. So I'm just going to use this dummy document or whatever, and that would click there. And so this file then is available to the person on the app or through the online portal from their side. But if you have all the documents that you need from that point, you can click this green button that says process return. So instead of the client clicking the button on within the app, you can click it on your side and start that process. So it's very similar. So now you're able to add the invoice and tax return. And you still get that notification that, hey, Owen's ready for to process a return. So you'd still get notified. So I could create the invoice here. I'm going to do it a little bit different. So like if we have receiving payment, you're charging an hourly rate. You could pull that in. So it's like $50 an hour. And let's say it took me 5 hours to process, generate that. Then I would pull in my documents from the tax software. I'll go through here. I will mark where I want that signature to appear. Upload that document. You can see it's tabbed as signature required. So at that point, if I have something in there, I can send that to the review process. I'll just put the 1040 here for kicks. There's no signature on that one. At this point, I would send it for review. So if you are a sole practitioner, the kind of workaround to have this review process or have this still happen is you can set up another profile, a second profile. And because you can toggle back and forth, like you could literally name it the review profile. Per IRS recommendation, the returns are reviewed. So that's why we have this built in. We had two of our partners that helped tremendously with the software are both like former IRS agents. So we're very keen to like what rules and regulations are and making sure we're meeting all those requirements. So that's how we kind of, some of these things are built the way they are. So if you are that sole practitioner, you can literally set up another user on your team that is just like reviewer. And then you can toggle to their account from here, just like I'm toggling to Donald's, click the review, see that review, approve it. And then that kicks that to the next step, requiring the payment. So I'll go back to Owen here. And you can see it's a little workaround, but I literally did it in 30 seconds, so it's not a huge burden there. If you are a sole practitioner, if you do want to not accept payments necessarily through our system and through Stripe, you could modify this invoice to just be like a dollar charge or dummy invoice. In the notes, you can put do not pay. And then in this process, you could just write that you received a check. And this will push it along to that next. So at this point, everything is released to Owen so he could see his return. So if you do want to have people without using Stripe, you could push that through. But then you just know that, as far as like your dashboard goes, the paid versus uncollected is not trackable. So
Thanks, Chase. We've got a couple other questions, and then we'll go with Jim. Alex, I probably need a little bit more information just to make sure I answer you correctly. Chris, did you see it, Chase, that said yes, it is possible, and so to use for other years. Alex, you mentioned just paring down the number of reviews affect the availability of e-signature. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. But you can use e-signature, it's unlimited. And so the number of reviews should not affect it, right? Once it's done in review and completed, no matter how many changes you add, you should be able to come in and use the e-signature function. I think there was another one from Jim. So we can scan to Drake and then move to Pacesetter. That's correct. We should be able to take it, move it into Pacesetter, just upload it directly into Pacesetter, and then move to set up the invoice and e-signature. Let's see. And then Jenny, you asked about a workaround the system requiring you to have a unique email address. A majority of the people that we have unique email addresses. Most people have to have them, especially go to the doctor's offices, things like that. If you want to use e-signature and you want them to get notifications and updates, if you need more information, they have to have a unique email address. That is the only way around that. Now, to upload in the system, you can give them a non-unique email address and just say, hey, I need you to go in and complete all your information. You can do that. And so I'm speaking of users. Oh, okay. You mean within the office, you want to see if everybody can have one login. Is that what you're saying? Just to make sure I understand, Jenny, you want to see, you can, everybody is able to have their own. Now you have to have two actual users in the system. Everybody can, you can have the, you have to have a super admin, and then you have to have the reviewer. So no matter what, you know, they can set it up. Chase,
yeah, and I was just going to jump in there for Jenny.
Go ahead.
So like Jenny, you could just use a personal email for that second to be the reviewer. But you don't have to necessarily ever log in, because if you're logged in that super admin account, you can toggle between profiles. So like this is Caleb's. I can see every user that's on the team here and toggle between theirs. And then it just pops up that you are viewing Jeff's profile. And then you can always toggle back to yours. So if you just set that one as the reviewer, you can send it to like a personal email, or you could literally set up like a Gmail account just for this and never have that use that email for anything else.
Or most email providers, you can create an alias email, which it doesn't cost you extra. You're not having to pay for another email. It's just another, essentially it's attached to your personal email. So whatever you use for your super admin, Jenny, you could add an alias to that was like review at Jenny Benyon Tax, right? And then it would be a unique email. You don't have to pay extra for it. You don't have to go to Gmail.
Yeah, and Jim, I was just going to say, we wouldn't recommend that you only have one user for your whole team to use. We would recommend each person has their own for the, mainly for the purpose of tracking everything and being able to see who's doing what, and even communication with the clients, to know like who's talking to the client and that kind of thing. But like technically you could log in all in the same. We just wouldn't recommend that.
Alex asked a good question about the task templates. There's one in there that is a task advanced, and in that they have multiple review stages. So there's one that says review no changes, one that says review changes. If under the first review it's cleared under that first review, all the other ones don't really matter, because once you've reviewed it and you've moved past that, Alex, you don't have to worry about the other ones. Now, if you want to go into the template and just change it, that's totally fine. You can go ahead and do that within the template. You go into templates and you can change that. I'll do a training next week, a little bit more on that, but that shouldn't affect the e-signatures at all. So no. All right, so it looks like we've gotten some great questions. I really appreciate everybody jumping on and asking. If you have any more questions, please email me. My email is matt@pacesettertax.com. My whole role is to make sure you guys are happy and squared away, and that you're ready for tax season 2021. So I'll probably be connecting with all of you this next week, make sure everybody's good. If you are having any issues uploading clients, please let me know. And then João and I can jump in and make sure that you're set and squared away. But we really appreciate everybody jumping in and working with us for tax season 2021. But if there's nothing else, then I'll say thank you. Yeah, this will be out. This recording will be out by the end of the day. And then we'll work from there. And then Lisa, I'll definitely connect with you offline, but please send me an email if you have anything that you need done. But thanks for joining. We appreciate it. And then we look forward to kind of connecting with you. Bye.
See you guys.